What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and today we are getting the Cadillac out with the Nitrous. It's a sunny day. It's a good day to do this. Said I was going to shoot a video on there. Right now we've got, we're only running about maximum of a 50% duty cycle, which should be equivalent to around a 75 shot on the Cadillac. We're warming everything up right now. I've got a couple views. I've got a view from the front of the car. I got a view here in the car. I was going to get a view of the Holly dash so you could see what was going on there. Unfortunately, that did not sort out because that camera is dead, but we're going to run down the street. Normally on Fridays, if I can, I shoot a video called Grabbing Beer with the Garage for the patrons, but since this is really the first one that we're going to be doing with spraying on the Cadillac, I thought I'd make this video available for everybody. Right now, as I said, we're waiting on the car to warm up. We got Nitrous going out, got nice purge clouds shooting out the front here, so we should be ready to go. And I'm just making some adjustments to the dash while we're waiting on the car to warm up, so stick around. So as I said, we're going to come out here, do a Nitrous Puller 2 while we go grab some beer for the weekend. Want to start by saying, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Go check out the Nitrous Express playlist where we go through all of the installation and tuning of a Nitrous Express dry kit along with our Holley Terminator X. Turned out pretty good. And then thank you to all the new subscribers, everybody who likes the content. Stick around, we got a lot more tuning content coming up very soon that you're not going to want to miss out on. So I'm anxious to dive into some more of that. But for today, we're just kind of going for a joyride, going to do a couple Nitrous hits on the car, see how it responds. We went out and did some very small hits on it back in the day while I had somebody else drive the car so I could pay attention to the laptop. I'm getting most of the data I need here on our digital dash, and luckily there's so many safeties built into this system that I'm not really that worried about it. So we are activating at 3,500 RPMs and 90% throttle. We have pedaling strategy enabled, which allows us to kind of back off the throttle if need be without resetting the entire stage, as it were, for the Nitrous kit in this instance. And then, of course, we have the high and low AFR shutoff. So if it gets leaner than 13.5, it will just shut off the Nitrous system to preserve the motor. We are using a progressive ramp. We're starting at 20% down low around 3,500 and then ramping up to 50%, I want to say right now, on a 150 jet. I can't remember the exact ramp rate, but the primary reasoning behind that is that the drivetrain on this car is probably a little weak. We don't want to shock the drivetrain. We have the ability to do progressive control, so we will give it a shot. Seems to like it. I think I blew my hose off of my purge. It was placed in the grill. Now it seems to be purging in the grill, so I'm going to have to pull over up here and fix that. I got to find I got to hardline this purge kit in. I ran the hardline as far as it would go, and then I cut it over to a soft hose after that. Oh yeah, she definitely wakes up there. Woo! Man, that is a rush. I'm telling you, with the progressive control on this thing, it is like having a turbo. I held it through a first to second shift there for the first time. I'm working on the tap shift this weekend, so I need to get that part sorted out. But man, it really wakes up, and the delivery through this Nitrous Express solenoid is so smooth that it just pushes you back, holds you there, and goes. It's freaking awesome. So, okay, I'll be right back. Okay, ow, I lost a shoe. Comes the PBR truck. Okay, here's the fun part where we review the beers that we're getting this way. We're going with another Against the Grain, Rico Suaven. Dude, this beer's good. It's a double IPA. It's about 9% alcohol by volume. It's a little bit disturbing. And then my go-to, if you're a patron, you know that I drink a lot of single cut 18 watt. It's about my favorite beer nowadays. So just a heads up on that one. So back to nitrous oxide. The beer trucks are getting lined up here. We've got North Country, Coors, and PBR. North Country is about the only thing I drink anymore out of these three. Well, I've been known to enjoy good PBR. So nitrous oxide. What are my thoughts on nitrous? I have never really been the kind of guy to do a nitrous oxide setup, I'll be honest. And I'm in 100% transparency, I had bought a competitor's nitrous oxide dry kit to install in this car whenever Nitrous Express reached out to me and expressed their interest in sponsoring a segment. And I appreciate everything they've done because they've really hooked me up. And hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content. Anybody that has interest in nitrous, I'll put a link up in the corner to the playlist. I go through the ins and outs of the installation. I still have installation work to do as far as the bottle heater goes and the nitrous pressure gauge and such. So that stuff will be coming out very soon. Keep your eyes peeled on that. I've got to burn this bottle down because I was not thinking, but the gauge ports on the bottle itself, on the valve, are open to the bottle. And honestly, it's not a big ordeal on the bottle heater because we're never going to run the bottle heater unless we're ready to run. But I would like to see the bottle pressure all the time. And since I have that transmitter or transducer, whatever they want to call it, pressure sensor, I would like to have the option of running that. So I tried to fix my blow-off valve. It is sitting, or my purge valve, the vent, the hose popped off. I've just got to break down and get the brake line on here. So let's hit it. And there it goes. Woo! Man, and the nice thing about this setup is I've got it timed with when the cam really comes alive. These Northstars, the variable valve timing ones, with the cams parked, they come alive at 3,500. That's the power range of the parked position of the cams on these. And this is the same thing that you've heard me talk about on other variable valve timing setups, mainly the push rod ones, where everybody's like, oh, you can make additional power down low. You might be able to, but the benefits aren't there for having to move that thing around. They still have a power range, and it goes to that power range, and that's where it's going to have peak airflow throughout the power band. This one opens up to 3,500, and so because of that, I have the nitrous starting to ramp in at 3,500. Boy, does it make a difference. I mean, it just, it starts pushing and pushing and just does not give up. So for the installation cost, if you were to buy this kit off the shelf where we're at right now, we are probably at $700. Maybe $800. Total installation cost on the setup that I have is going to be around $1,200 with the bottle heaters and the pressure transmitters and everything. $1,200. Is it worth it? Absolutely. This is significantly cheaper than a turbocharger. You have a switch that I literally flip on and off whenever I want it. So driving around right now, I've got the system off. It's just not doing anything. And I like that about it. On top of it, I have a mother bottle. I did a video on finding a mother bottle, refilling your own bottles at home. That makes a huge difference. It is worth the investment to go down that route. It costs a little bit up front. You're talking about $400 to $500 to get a mother bottle that's full of product. So for $1,600 on a dry kit and less than, I would say, $2,000 total on a wet kit with a mother bottle, all the bells and whistles, running a 150 shot of nitrous, you're going to get performance on par with most bolt-on supercharger and turbo kits out there, if not maybe a little bit more out of it, to be honest. I would be anxious to see what other people think about that. And the nice thing about it is you're just, you know, honestly, you don't have it there all the time, which isn't a good thing, but at the same time, it's not a bad thing. You know, you have the ability, and you can also upgrade to things like remote bottle openers where you could literally flip 2 switches and be ready to rock and roll without ever getting out of the driver's seat. Would you guys like to see a video on one of those? Because I can get one of those coming and we could do a remote bottle valve opener install also, which would be cool. So that's kind of my summary so far on our Nitrous Express kit, how I like it. I'm super impressed with how well it's gone. The tunability has been amazing. Everything looks good from a tuning standpoint. I'm happy. Man, I love this thing. And I can't wait to get out and get some quarter-mile times before and after. And the nice thing about with the Nitrous kit is literally all I do is not turn it on. I could rip a quarter-mile out, see what it was doing beforehand, flip that thing on, and get more power out of it. Since we are only at 50% duty cycle on top of it, I can also bump the power up basically on the fly and make more horsepower without even having to go underneath the hood. So it works a lot, as I said, like a boosted system in multiple ways, but you do have a reoccurring cost because you have to keep that bottle full. Now that cost is pretty minimal as long as you're doing it yourself. Now, if you do not have the ability to do this yourself, if you can't find a mother bottle, and I would suggest maybe searching around before installing a kit, it can get a lot more expensive. So as I said, I am filling my bottles up for less than half of what speed shops charge right now. And so I do a pull like that and it costs me, you know, 10 cents, 15 cents to do a pull. You know, a long pull, a quarter-mile pull might cost me 50 cents at the most. So it is very economical for my setup because I've done the due diligence, got the bottle. So that being said, let me know as always if you have any comments, questions, post them down below. If you are interested in more grabbing beer with the garage, make sure and check out the Patreon. It's also good for tuning assistance. I promise you, 15 bucks a month gets you email tuning assistance. Everybody that's used it loves it. So don't take my word for it, as LeVar Burton used to say. But that being said, I'm going to get back into the garage. I got some other stuff to do to get planned for this weekend, to make some more videos, to do some cool stuff on Project Country Club. So thanks for stopping by the garage, and ABT, always be tuning.